history and culture. Both determines the identity of the Filipino. Because of this widespread information, lumalabas uli itong false sense of nationalism that you have to be nationalist, you have to condemn everything foreign and everything. Ay, gago yung mga Amerikano niyan, gago yung mga Kastila niyan. But you have to realize that our culture was formed by the very colonial culture that these two countries had. Until today, and few people realize it, our Catholicism is not Roman Catholic. Our Catholicism is folk Catholicism. No? Our Muslim is not Muslim that comes from the Middle East. Our Muslim is something that is folk Muslim because we had to have a flavor, a local flavor to it in order for it to be appreciated. And when it had its local flavor, now it becomes assimilated, dun na naging Filipino. And knowing that, no, has to be determined. That's why we always have our heritage lovers, the heritage thing, no, because they realize that the churches that we have, the Spanish churches, are not Spanish because they were constructed by Filipinos. That should be an important thing to be understood. No? That in order to know our history, we should free ourselves, no, from the restrictions and the narrow-mindedness that whatever is ours, no, comes from something foreign. And I think that should be appreciated. It comes from something foreign, but we eventually made it ours. They should at first realize that our history is a story. Kaya ka tinawag yung kasaysayan because it's a saysay. It's a story. And they should realize that with all the chismis, history is full of that. And once they learn that it's a story, they would start to appreciate it. Imagine Harry Potter Philippine setting. Diba? That could have been the story of Rizal. Someone who started young and learned and eventually became someone who changed the nation. That story is always missing. It's because it's how people learn. I think young people are turned off by history because sa edukasyon pa lang pinagme-memorize sila. Yun ang problema. Yun ang parating sinasabi ko sa aking history classes na whenever we're going to study our history class, you're not going to memorize. Because memorizing is something that will make you hate history. It's so hard to be another person, you know, to have another country. And I think even there are so few Filipinos abroad who would not disclaim that they are Filipino. Nandun pa rin yung uniqueness natin No. And for me, being Filipino always is something to be proud of, no matter how many flaws, no matter how many troubles, no matter how much crab mentality that we have. I can still say, I'm still proud to be that. Today, mahirap siguro rin i-define ang Filipino, no? But in order to understand, we should probably realize what history he or she has gone through. No, because if you don't look at the struggles, if you don't look at the travails and triumphs of being a Filipino, you wouldn't understand what a Filipino is. They say that adobo is Filipino. Adobo comes from France now. No? I've always asked my class, what is a Filipino symbol to you? I've heard people say Manny Pacquiao, but well, that of course is a different kind of symbol. No? So I always ask them, what if Manny Pacquiao loses? Tapos na symbol mo. So for me, probably a Filipino is the product of the colonial culture that happened, the traditional cultures that he still has, and the various cultures that comes in this age of globalization. Yet, in spite of all these cultures, he still has something that he calls his own, and that is his identity.